How would you feel if your dad got laughed at in his job because of your content? How about your future children being bullied at school over his mom's sex-worker? Truth matters, be better.
Is that ethical?
Go ahead, Cindy, if you want to respond to this.
So, I'm just thinking, like, why would his coworkers, like,
admit to that?
Yeah, it's just a little, it's like not professional, number one. Number two, it's like, yeah, like, if he has a good relationship with his coworkers, he wouldn't violate him like that.
Do you want to have kids?
I do want to have kids.
Do you want to have kids? Do you want to have
Yes.
kids? She's gone. Do you have any concerns about your future kids being bullied when it comes to your OnlyFans content?
So I think that it's like, I feel like it's not going to affect them. But at the same time, what if I choose to not have kids? What if I adopt kids?
Well,
or like,
I
or
suppose
homeschool kids, or take them to like a private school, and like just depending on what I want to do with my life.
Something to think about, though. What about you?
I have a few thoughts on it. One, I have to think about the timeline when I have children. By the time I have children, how much bigger is the internet going to be? And like, will I even be relevant anymore? Will any of the girls that are relevant now going to be relevant anymore? Or is someone going to take their place? And then by that time, I'm going to look different. Some people even like change their names, so like that's a factor as well. But I do think regardless of whether their peers know about it or not, I think it is important to have that conversation with your children.
Sure.
Just to make them aware.
Okay.
And,
in response to that, I would say that the internet is forever. My question, you mentioned like changing your name. If let's say you stop doing OnlyFans.
Right.
You need to get that?
No, let me hop in on that.
I have.
Once you finish.
Yeah.
I have more.
So, would you guys? Let's say you guys stop doing OnlyFans, or maybe you don't, but let's say you do. Are you? If you're gonna start dating a guy, would you be open and forthcoming about the fact that you're engaged in sex work?
With the guy that I'm marrying?
No. Wait. What?
Wait. Can you repeat that question?
Let's say you start dating a guy. Would you disclose to him that you do OnlyFans?
Of course.
Like currently?
Yeah.
You have to.
What about if you choose to stop doing OnlyFans?
Absolutely.
Would you disclose to them like, hey, just letting you know, like I used to do this?
It's part. Yeah. Absolutely. Part of your life.
Mm-hmm.
You had something?
Yeah, I do. So this is a dating story. I met a young lady. I was visiting a city and just met her by chance. Fantastic girl. Like she was, everything was very kind about her. It looked like a modest young lady. Everything was great. She had a tattoo. And I'll tell you the end of the story. At this point, I was like, man, this girl's actually great. I could potentially date this young lady. Like she's so far she's checking the boxes. And again, it's very early stages. But I didn't know much about her, so I sent a picture of her to my team. I was like, hey, can we just see what we know about this girl? Just make sure she's not a terrorist, Russian spy, whatever, trying to get American secrets. Who knows? Anyways, while in that thing, it's incredibly simple. I mean, like, it's hard to change the even if you get a significant amount of surgery, it's hard to change the biometrics of your body. And we have a lot of programs. We just used the tattoo. She had not been doing OnlyFans for a very long time. Like she started when it was right at the very beginning.
Comes right back up in politics.
And it instantly popped up her pictures, like, because you can go back in time on the web, and then so like instantly popped up her pictures, and I was like, listen, like I understand that you stopped. I understand that you're redeemed in the Lord. All of these great things. I personally cannot be with you because I'm an example to young men. I'm an example to young women. I don't want young women to think like, oh, hey, I can do this and it has no cost, because if I stop, then I can get a guy like Matt. I'm not saying I'm a high level guy, but I'm just saying there's a huge cost to it, and no matter what it will be, I will confine your content for the rest of time. That's just no, unless an EMP.
It totally goes back to the conversation of like how OnlyFans or sex work gets in the way of building certain types of relationships and certain people that you want to be in a relationship with. Yes, you have to find a certain quality of a person who will accept you for that, and it doesn't bother them in any way particular, career-wise or otherwise. They're gonna have to accept that and be open with that, or at least accept that you did it in the past or something like that. So. Though that would be something that limited your availability for partnership with somebody. But if you're, that's why we disclose it at the very beginning, like, oh, we work in sex work or adult work or whatever. You disclose it at the beginning, not, nip it at the bud, so that person could differentiate at the very beginning whether or not they want to continue. That way you don't like build feelings. Both people build feelings within like 3 to 4 months. You start to really like the person and start to really like spend a lot of time with that person, and you get that out of the way. Get out of the way, because this is how we make our living.